What's going on, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Opposition Preview. For this week, I'm joined by Jaime from Leicester Fan TV to look ahead to the game on Sunday. As always, if you do enjoy the video, you know what to do. Leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. Jaime, I've got a smile on my face, but you must be a bit frustrated with the way that things are going in your side of things. Leicester, 11th in the Premier League, lost last night in the Europa League. What is going on over in that side? I've been surprised by it, and surely you, as a Leicester fan, must be annoyed as well because you've got high standards.
Yeah, I think we've had high expectations this year, being FA Cup winners and finishing top five for the last 2 years, and a pretty decent attempt at Europe last year. But it's just gone totally pear-shaped this year. I think he's got the tactics wrong. We're playing slow out, build-up play from the back. We're trying to play possession football where the defenders get most touches, and our defenders can't play most touches. And it's just the confidence has just gone. It has completely gone at the minute from the team. As being annoyed, I'm not saying annoyed. I'm more disappointed in the way we're playing. It's not the style. I don't think you'd be happy with the style that we're able to play if Patrick Vieira was playing it at Palace at the minute.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Patrick Vieira and Palace shortly. But you mentioned the tactic changes. You mentioned that you're a bit disappointed with how things are going. So is there pressure going into this game for you guys to go and get a win? Because you've had, a couple of defeats here, and it hasn't been a great start. So is there pressure on like Brendan Rodgers and the team to go a victory? Because I can only imagine if I'm a Leicester fan and you're going away at Selhurst Park, I'm not saying that we're a bad side, but surely at this point you need to sort things out as soon as possible, or you're going to be left behind.
It's not so much just this season. If you take a look at the last 24 games, league games only, 24 league games, 19 league games, we've only got 24 points. That's half a season's worth of games. The last 19 games, we've got 24 points. It's not. I know we've had a fantastic win in the FA Cup in the middle of that, but it's just not happening. It's just not happening. We've had 2 wins, one against Norwich and one against Wolves, and we could have lost them quite easily. Wolves look like scoring goals all the time, but they didn't. And it's just, we're not playing well at all. And I hate to say, it's going to be a mid-table for us this year. I really think so. I think we're going to be struggling. I really do. And like I said, the pressure is on now. I mean, we've had 2 wins and a draw, 7 points out of the first 6 games. If we want to be challenging for the so-called top 6 positions, it's top 4 this year, isn't it, really? Because Arsenal and Spurs aren't included in that top 6 anymore. We've got to be beating teams. We've got to be beating teams like Burnley, like Wolves, like Norwich, West Ham, maybe yourselves. We've got to be looking at beating teams in and around, and but we're not doing it this year, and we don't look comfortable. We really don't look comfortable. It's like we're playing with a new manager, and and they're not sure what the tactics. Last night against Legia Warsaw, we had. I don't know. I don't even know what the players knew whether the tactics were. I haven't got a clue. None of the fans knew what the tactics were, really. And it just looked like we set out for a 0-0 draw. 0-0. I was really disappointed, and just hopefully we need a huge performance on Sunday. Absolutely huge performance on Sunday against you.
I can see it on your face. You're massively disappointed with how things are going. And I don't blame you, because as I've said when I started this episode, I've got high standards for Leicester. I expect Leicester to be up there, because we're talking about a Leicester side that were competing to be in the top 4, but just narrowly missed like 2 seasons in a row. But is there pressure now on Brendan Rodgers? I don't want to be that guy asking it, but if you're talking about mid-table finish, is that good enough considering what's been going on over the years with Leicester?
I would say no, it's not good enough. I don't think God rest his soul, Vichai is what he wanted the club to be like, a mid-table team, and I'm sure his son doesn't want that to be the same, a mid-table team. Yes, I think some fans would take a cup win and maybe mid-table, but for me personally, I would want at least a European position place in the top 6 and a cup win to be a decent season. Anything less than that, I don't think will be a decent season. Claudio Ranieri got sacked after not winning for 6 games. Puel got sacked for not winning 6 games. Rodgers has not won in 3 games. He's halfway there. Could the Palace game? And you've got to remember as well, 2.5 years ago, Puel got the sack after we played you lots at Filbert Street. God, how many years? Oh God, I'm up too old school. At the King Power, when you beat us 4-1 at home, and Puel got the sack the next day. So could it happen again? Hopefully not. Rodgers is a good manager, quality manager. But I'm not sure. I don't know what's gone on. He's a good manager, but I don't want to say it. I'm not Rodgers in or out. I'm just losing a little bit of faith with him at the minute. I really am. It's the style of football it's hard work watching it. It really is hard work watching it.
Well, trust me, it must be better than watching Roy Hodgson for 4 years. It can't be that bad. And, I'm telling you, it cannot be that bad. You cannot go that downhill. So I've had to do it for 3-4 years. I'm sure that you can do it for a couple more months. But talking about, Palace side of things, as a Leicester fan, what have you made of Palace so far this season? Patrick Vieira, new manager, new players. I think we got 6 points in 6 games as well. Have you been impressed, or is it where you'd think that would be at this stage of the season anyways?
Well, I think it's hard to judge any teams really, apart from the top, the Liverpool, Man City, Man U, Chelsea. I think it's hard to judge anybody else of the other 16 teams until you get to 10 or 15 games around the 10th mark, Christmas time, until you really see the true colours of teams. Palace, I would always see Crystal Palace as being a mid-table to top half, in between like 8th and 14th by the end of the season. And because the Premier League, there's like 3 leagues, isn't there? There's a top league for the top 4, then there's the middle half, and then there's the bottom. And you're always going to be in that middle half to top half of that league, that second league. So I wouldn't really say anything about how you're doing so far. We've just got to take one game at a time. I think at this time of the year, the teams between like 4th and 16th have got to take one game at a time and see how they go. I think we're in 12th and you're 15th. Am I right in saying?
Around that region. Something. I think 1 point separates us.
Yes, we've got 7. You've got 6, like you say. So yeah, is it a 6-pointer mid-table clash? Do you get there? Do you get mid-table 6-pointer clashes? I'm not sure, but it seems like it's going to be a 6-pointer mid-table clash. But yeah, the Palace is. Yeah, I've not really seen. To be honest, I've not really seen much of Crystal Palace this year. I've read reports, seen clips on Match of the Day and Sky and that. I know. I'm looking forward to seeing Edouard play for you, because we were in for him at the start of the season and then in the transfer window, but we went for Dakar instead. And he came on the other day and scored within about 10 seconds, didn't he? His first appearance, something like that, Edouard?
2 goals in like 20 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing him, see what he's like in the Premiership, see if it was worth us having a dart on him or not. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think you'll be fine this year. But like I say, it's after about 10 to 15 games when you start looking to see where teams are, I think, really. But you'll be fine this year. You won't have any problems.
You mentioned Edouard, and let's talk about some of the Leicester players as well. Jaime Vardy, he loves a goal against us. Is that the player that you would say that we need to... Exactly. At least you remember the celebration. He loves... I don't know why. Oh, well, I know why, because of what we said in the stands to him. But, he's going to be up for this game. Is there any other players that we should watch out for apart from Vardy, who's going to score a goal anyways? There's no point talking about him in detail.
Well, if you'd been this time last year, I'd have said the whole 1 to 11. Named the whole team, and that's who you've got to look out for. But this year, the whole team seems to be out of form. It really does. Maddison's not playing to his best. Ricardo Pereira, Castagna, they're not playing the best. I know Pereira's just come back from injury. Last year, we had a worst injury record. We had 7 or 8 players out. This year, we've only got 3 out. And some people are using that as an excuse still. I don't understand why we're using that as an excuse. But I would have said Soyuncu would have been a player. I think he scored against you a couple of years ago as well, in a cracking goal from the corner. But I don't know. There's Vardy. We're not playing to a top. We're not playing to a form. We're not. I want to see Nacho start up top with Jamie Vardy. Last year we scored 25 goals between them in the last half of the season when we played two up top. And now Brendan Rodgers has said we can't fit Nacho into the style of football we're playing. You know, if you can't fit him in, you make him fit in. You play him, you change your style of play, which is what we need to do. We need to have two men up top. Vardy can't do it on his own anymore. So for me, Nacho would have to start. That is my Nacho to start on Sunday, and he will cause you problems if Nacho's. Because he doesn't need any documentation or paperwork to get to London, so he's allowed in.
Yeah,
so
he didn't play. He didn't play yesterday. What was that about?
Something wrong with the paperwork, some documentation. He's been travelling around the world, fine, going into other countries, but then he couldn't go into Poland for some reason because it was different regulations.
All right, that's interesting to see. So just quickly, you mentioned one player there, Soyuncu. And from what I've seen about Leicester, I haven't watched every single game, but from the highlights, just like how you seen Palace, and from what people are saying, it seems like your defense is the main point of struggle. Is that correct of saying? Is that the main weakness that Palace should target in this game?
Yes. Can we move on to the next question so I don't have to talk about the defence? Move on quickly. No. Yeah, we're having a bit of a problem.
Injuries, Jamie. Is it because of the injuries? What is it that's gone wrong about this defence? You talked about the whole tactics. I understand that, but what in particular is wrong with the defence?
At the minute, we've got James Justin, Evans, and who else is out? And there's one more out. I can't remember who's out. We've got three out, and we're not playing a settled back forward. Vestergaard, I think Southampton have had a pants down over him for 15 million. He struggles to head the ball, considering he's 6'6". He loses his footing quite easy. It was like Bambi on ice last night. Or Vestergaard was. Out of 10, I'd have given him a 4, and that was 4 was probably just because he lasted 90 minutes. Johnny Evans is the linchpin. Johnny Evans is the linchpin. We need Johnny Evans. He's the leader. At the minute, we haven't got no leadership. There's no passion. There's no fight in that back. Not fight as in that kind of fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing like that, and we need a bit of solidity at the back to hold us together. And Johnny Evans is that glue that does that. But he's got a problem with his foot. If you watch Leicester Fan TV, my pronunciations are horrendous, so I can't even explain what his injury is. It's something at the arch of his foot and it's causing him problems. He didn't play last night, but we need Johnny Evans there. He's the linchpin. He's the main man that controls everything, and he makes us. He made Harry Maguire 80 million worth. He made Soyuncu look as good as he was 2 years ago. He's made Little Wes look. Wes Fofana, that's the other lad that's injured as well. He made Little Wes look good. He's the one that makes the players look good. Alex Ferguson has said he wished he'd never let him go now. That shows a sign, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Coming from Ferguson, that's massive. But look, let's end this off with a score prediction. You seem like you are frustrated with everything that's going on at Leicester at this point. But the way that you're talking about it and the way that I've got a smile on my face going into this game, it's going to be 1-0 Leicester, ain't it?
Well, I've got to say, anybody that's watching this from Leicester Fan TV will know what I say. Win your home games, draw your away games. If you can't win, do not lose. So that's why every away game, I go for a 2-2 draw, the old Desmond, a 2-2 draw. That's what I'll be going for on. It's a point. A point away from home in the Premier League is a really good point. But then you just have to go and back it up with a win at your home games. But we're not doing either of them at the minute. So my saying's gone out the window completely.
Well, I'm going to let me change up from 1-0 Leicester. Let me be positive as well. Considering all the problems that you have going on right now with injuries, form, Brendan Rodgers tactics, I'm going for a 1-0 Palace win. Just get the win by any means. I feel like we've got quality going forwards, and we need a win as well. We play some very difficult games against Chelsea, against Liverpool, against even Brentford. They've been on form this season. West Ham. So we played some difficult games this season. So 1-0 win. Hopefully we get the job done. But let us know in the comment down section what you think about the game and your score predictions, and I'll be going through them. Jamie, before we end this off, where can everyone find you and Leicester Fan TV?
Well, yeah, you can find us on Leicester Fan TV on all social media, We've even got a new TikTok channel if you want to follow us. That's a bit young. That's a bit young for my TikTok. I'm not into that. It's somebody else in there. On Twitter, Facebook, Insta. You can also follow me if you don't know. I have a bar in Spain in Alcudia, which is in Mallorca, called the Fox's Arms. Everyone's welcome. So any Eagles fans that want to come and watch the game on Sunday, more than welcome. Come and visit me anytime you want.
Oh, well, Eagle fans, if you're in Spain, go to Jamie's bar. Look, you got a game sorted. And hopefully, after 1-0 win, Jamie won't kick you out. And hopefully, you'll get along well. But thank you to everyone. Thanks to everyone who's watched this. Glad you've, hopefully, you've enjoyed it. And if you have, as always, like and subscribe. And until next time, up the Palace.